It's alive! Total rewiring has been completed. Old version was not very reliable by the end there, and it was probably that horrible spaghetti of wires going all over the place, of all different styles, with induction loops everywhere, and just endless problems. And I finished. I have a new version, and now it uses a switch matrix and a lamp matrix, and all the electronics are in the back box instead of in the bottom of the cabinet. So they're kept away from all the interference down here. So I think that's going to be a huge improvement. And indeed, I have not had it crash one single time since I put it back together. Everything is mounted on a lamp panel now, so that makes that a little nicer. And it might be a little bit hard to see, and of course this right here is a little bit of spaghetti, but everything else here is all in neat rows, and it all is designed to make sense. And I actually forgot my wire cutters in there. Computer is mounted up there, out of harm's way. Knocker coil works this time around. So, I think it turned out extremely well. There were a few software bugs I had to deal with in the redo, and there are a few software bugs I still need to deal with. It's not perfect, and the playfield feature lights are a little bit dim. I think I'm driving the controller chips a little bit too hard, and you may notice there are some lights that don't come on at all. Papyrus on the heart, Tem Shop up there, Save, and I think the reason for that is the bulbs are actually missing, because I remember shifting some of them around and I don't think I got them all in there. So I'm going to have to deal with that, of course, before I'll consider that done. But it's playable again, it's very solid, and I am quite confident I'll be able to bring it this spring. Let's do this like a traditional rule sheet then. Okay. It's going to be clockwise from bottom left. Oh, flippers. Normal flippers, 3-inch. I chose white and black because that's the theme colors of the battle system in Undertale, and you see a lot of black and white in this game. Slingshot, unfortunately, is positioned just right, so it's very hard to bounce past to the other flipper. I probably would have done that a little differently had I made a whitewood of this game. Let's see, the lanes, as I mentioned earlier in this video, the return lanes and the out lanes spell the word soul. You can lane change using the flipper buttons, and since they are fed by the habit trails, it's pretty easy to spell it. Spelling soul increases your bonus multiplier and temporarily lights the left ramp to collect an item. Upper left flipper is another standard 3-inch. It can effectively shoot the lane up into the Snowden area and get into the lab saucer with any luck. You can also hit these various targets here, as well as the library scoop, which can be worth some points in certain situations. Up here, the lane feeding the upper left flipper is waterfall. There's a scoop there that's fed by a couple of other holes. It also can be lit for the Tem Shop award. You can see the Temmie there underneath the ramp. Tem Shop is a random award that gives you various things like points values, random multi-ball, lighting up extra ball, etc. Then we have the first target in the word monster. Spelling monster lights Grilby Scoop for the next boss fight. Hitting any major shot also spots the next monster target. The major shot would be this scoop, the ramp, this hole, etc. Scoops, ramps, holes. Then we have hoi! It's how a Temmie says hi. Spelling hoi lights Tem Shop. This was originally going to be a drop target mechanism, which, if you've been watching the other videos, you probably are aware that I had to take that out because I didn't have the space for it. The hole didn't get cut big enough, and I decided it was just not worth the effort, so I put in some static targets. Up here we have the Hotland Passage, also known as Fight/Save, since those are the lights there. Fight mode is kind of on hold until after the show, because it's a whole nother branch of the game rules, but it'll be used during the fights with Asgore and Flowey. It just curls back and comes out of the waterfall scoop. The Metaton target, when all is said and done, it'll probably give you a points bonus during his mode. Right now it just makes his speech noises and flashes the star in front of the target. The core vertical up kicker is inside of Metaton's Resort, which I built out of plastic light shields. It just kicks the ball straight out through this habit trail where it comes out at the lower left flipper, same as the ramp. Over here we have the actual Hotland shot, which leads into Alphys' lab, which of course has a poster of Metaton up here, and this poster of Mew Mew Kissy Cutie, which is Alphys' favorite anime. And the lab saucer, which is the actual eject hole underneath this building, which is also made out of light shields, is accessible from the plunger skill shot if you manage to pull it back exactly the right amount. It gives you 20,000 points to begin with, and I think the highest it can go is 50,000. Kind of like Adam's Family, except 1,000 instead of million. Over here we have the center ramp, which loops back down to the lower right flipper. Some nice music there. The ramp is... you can technically shoot this ramp repeatedly, because you can hit it from the lower right flipper, but you are not given any kind of special bonus for making this single ramp over and over, unlike some games. However, you will earn a combo bonus for hitting this ramp, then this ramp, then this ramp, since you can do that because of the flippers. Playfield Tour Part 2. Center ramp, left ramp is a nice combo, especially in Metaton's mode, which is all about combos. Up next we have the Grilby Scoop. That's where you collect, that's where you start your boss modes when it is flashing. And you can relight it, of course, by spelling monster. I think I already covered that. In the Snowdin area, there's a one-way gate, so ideally the ball only comes out by the upper right flipper, although gates do bounce, so, you know, that's not absolutely guaranteed. There is one jet bumper in the area, which gives at least some bumper action. I probably should have put more than one bumper in there, but live and learn. There are various switches at the rubbers here. They give you a small points bonus. And the rubber and the bumpers all add towards a payoff bonus that you can collect at the library. So once, I think it's 2,000 points per switch hit that builds toward that bonus, and once it builds to 20,000 points or more, then the scoop lights up for that award. Underneath the Welcome to Snowdin sign, we have the Skeleton House. That is, of course, the home of Sans and Papyrus, if you're familiar with Undertale itself. You collect Mercy Awards, which currently that just adds 5 seconds onto whatever mode you are currently playing. So it'll kind of increase the amount of time you can go. There's a small passageway without any switches or anything, just leading down to the upper right flipper. Then the next thing, of course, is the library scoop itself, which is surprisingly hard to hit, but since the library payoff bonus can get up to 100,000 points, it tends to be worth it. Then there's the upper right flipper, which is another standard 3-inch flipper. The last monster target, R, and then the Ruins Scoop, which can be lit for an extra ball, or can collect various other awards depending on what boss mode is happening. And then there's the left slingshot, left lanes, left flipper, which, you know, are basically the same as always. The plunger lane leads up a very short ramp and goes up to the Snowden area. And you can soft plunge it just to get it up to the upper right flipper if desired. And that pretty much covers the layout. Napstablook, Mad Dummy, and Muffet. Their lights exist, but they don't do anything yet. I'm not sure I'm going to make them full-blown modes like the boss monsters. I think there's just going to be playfield awards that simply light those up. And once you get all three of them, maybe you'll get a multi-ball or something. And down here on the heart, we have the actual names of the bosses of Undertale itself. Hitting any slingshot or rubber or bumper will switch which one of these is flashing, and whichever one is flashing you will collect when you hit a lit Grillby Scoop. They're like the mansion rooms, the door panels. Each one is a mode that gives you a certain amount of time to accomplish certain tasks. You will actually complete only the bottom 6 of them in whatever order you want. Once you are done with those, then you are lit to do the Asgore mode, which is a multi-ball mode in which you fight against Asgore. And once you finish that, then you are qualified for the boss mode, which, if you're doing a pacifist run, is gonna be Flowey, and if you're doing a genocide run, it's gonna be Sans, Bad Time Sans. And yeah, that pretty much sums up the rules, I think. So, hopefully more updates later when I get my lights figured out and brighter. Needs some work, but it's back in business. And that fills me with determination.